2024, whilst being a year very tough on cinemas and the global box office, has actually been quite fruitful already in terms of quality film releases. Dune Part 2, Furiosa, Madame Web, Challengers, all great films I have thoroughly enjoyed this year. But there is also another release I've been very excited about.
My number 10.
Go on.
I guarantee is not on your list because you've seen this film.
Okay.
And it's Hit Man
Oh,
by Richard Linklater. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God, what a great surprise that film was.
I can't wait. I love Richard Linklater and totally my vibe. I'm really excited. Something fresh, something new. You said it was awesome.
I think it's brilliant.
Go.
I think you will really enjoy it.
And I did really enjoy Hit Man. I don't think it's on the same level as Dune Part 2, Furiosa, or Challengers, but it was nevertheless a very well-made and pleasant film to watch. I do think it's slightly over-expositional. If it was me, I would have cut one of these 3 exposition points.
I know on the surface, my life looks simple, a little plain. A guy feeding birds and living alone with his cats in the suburbs, but I liked my inner life.
How very modern of you. How did you arrive at this conclusion?
Well, even though we felt this person is guilty of a heinous act, we don't think a state-sanctioned killing accomplishes anything and only causes more pain and suffering.
Okay. It's a nice example of a legal system set up to respond to the will of its citizens.
I mean, I've been reading a lot recently about how researchers are finding that people can change their personalities well into their adulthood. And I'm working with numerous clients on it.
Right? Define change.
Okay. 5 traits that make up personality, right? Extroversion, openness to experience, emotional stability, agreeableness, and conscientiousness. They can all be altered within just a few months.
But still, the work is more than solid, and I can definitely see myself rewatching this movie time and time again. I am a big Richard Linklater fanboy. I adore the Before trilogy. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is a classic, and Boyhood is an incredible filmmaking feat that is also tremendously vulnerable and heartfelt. I think where Linklater thrives is obviously dialogue.
Why'd you get off the train with him?
Well, he convinced me. I mean, actually, I was ready to get off the train with him after talking to him a short while. He was so sweet, I couldn't help it.
But also detail work and maximizing the amount of storytelling each scene or moment holds, sort of like a Fincher of high-concept dramas or romantic films, albeit probably a little bit less obsessive than Fincher. Now, I do think Hit Man is not as good as Linklater's past work, as the film does feel a little less dense than a lot of his past projects, but there is one scene in particular here. This one.
We gotta talk.
I think is a fantastic example of how this director maximizes the story. This is in no world Linklater's best directed scene of his career, but it is a great showcase of how he layers his stories not only through script and direction, but also through all filmmaking tools at his disposal. So, let's break it down. From a simple narrative level, there are evidently 2 separate dialogues being led at the same time. We can distinguish the 2 easily, as one is the conversation we hear, and the other one is the conversation we see. The conversation we hear is the fake conversation that is staged in real time for the police officers listening outside, whilst the conversation that we see is the honest conversation, which makes sense to us as we already know the context to the scene and the circumstances that brought both characters here.
Oh my God.
Why are you getting so worked up about this? You do this shit all the time.
I don't do this all the time. I've never done this. I've never killed anyone.
What are you talking about?
I'm a fake hitman.
The 2 dialogues are completely divided from each other, which on a script level is necessary for the scheme to work. And this is so much so that I tested this and closed my eyes to see if the words we hear would pass as a real conversation to the police officers outside. In my opinion, they do.
They're thinking one of us did it.
Well, it wasn't me.
Look, I know you did it. It's fucking obvious, and I don't blame you.
I didn't kill him. Wait. Who's accusing me of this? This is bullshit, and you, out of all people, should know that I was incapable of this.
Okay, then who did? What the hell happened?
Now, this would have been enough already to make an interesting and compelling scene, since our attention as viewers is already split. But Linklater adds a third layer here, a sort of flirtatious flow to the conversation, one that is almost always disconnected from the words and is only directed by the actors in the scene.
So you don't know his name? You're just leaving the club with some random stranger you just met?
Hey, fuck off. I'm a grown woman, I am single, and he wasn't random, he was a damn good dancer.
Well, I'm happy for you.
This adds yet another flair to the scene, an interesting and additional spark, and it makes the sequence even more intriguing. And when this third layer bubbles up, it even crosses over with the dialogue that we hear, creating a double entranda between what the characters actually mean versus what the police officers outside think they mean.
I am on your side. That is why I'm here. I am trying to help you get away with this. Not because I'm some great guy or anything, but as soon as the heat's off of you, it's off of me too.
I don't think there is much to talk about here in terms of cinematography. The scene has standard coverage and doesn't really do anything unique in terms of framing or lighting or movement of the camera. I did think that the staging choices made by Linklater were fantastic though. Upon first rewatch, I immediately thought that it was very smart to keep characters at the door for most of the conversation. This furthers the idea that Madison has been caught off guard. It really raises the stakes as we understand visually how difficult it is for both characters to maintain this illusion on the spot. They physically can't move for a while. A more traditional option would have been to have Gary immediately cross through the living room and get to the kitchen and stage the whole scene there. But Linklater has his characters move only once they become a little more comfortable and start treating the whole thing like a game.
So you don't know his name? You're just leaving the club with some random stranger you just met?
Hey, fuck off.
Both Glenn Powell and Adria Arjona put in the work to tell a more than coherent story. There is a lot going on here, especially for Adria Arjona. She needs to first understand the stakes of the situation, but then also react to what Glenn Powell's character is really saying. She needs to improvise responses on the spot, all whilst keeping in character and also maintaining a casual and fun flow to the scene.
They're thinking one of us did it.
Well, it wasn't me.
Look, I know you did it. It's fucking obvious, and I don't blame you.
I didn't kill him. Wait, who's accusing me of this? This is bullshit, and you, out of all people, should know that I was incapable.
She needs to act panicked and composed. It really needs to appear as if she is making all of this on the spot, but it can't sound like she's making all of this on the spot.
The one who pulled the gun, what's his name?
I don't know.
You don't know his name?
I don't know his name. We were having fun on the dance floor, and I asked him if he wanted to go somewhere else. He said yes. We walk out, all that stuff with Ray happened. So you know what, if he said his name, I didn't hear it.
Later on, when that third layer of storytelling comes, our so-called flirtatious layer, she needs to focus on adding those details in as well, while still maintaining all the stakes and the tonal necessities from before.
And as far as we know, they could be watching us right now, so we should probably never see each other again.
Great.
You know, if you see me publicly, don't say hi. Nothing personal. Just gotta keep this clean.
Fine by me.
Glenn Powell's job might seem simpler on first glance as he's vividly just directing the conversation, but from an acting standpoint, the work here is almost as difficult as he's going through all of the same emotions and stakes as Adria Arjona, but needs to keep even more composed and clear-headed.
Hey! Last time! I am offering you a way out.
I also think the editing choices in the scene are really good. We either keep on an actor when it's expositionally important.
The club.
Yes, the club. I was walking out of Virgo's with this guy that I met on the dance floor, and boom, I run an array.
Or when we do cut to a reaction shot, it's almost always one with a clear purpose, either for comic relief, character or scene development, or to further the story through additional details the actors themselves are working into the scene.
Ray's family has money. They do shit like this. They take out insurance. Look, I don't even know if I got any of that money.
Now, as I mentioned, this scene in Hitman is in no way the best scene of the year, but it is a really enjoyable and well-crafted sequence, and I thought it's interesting to break it down and see what makes it tick. We often focus on only breaking down masterpieces, but I do think it's valuable to once in a while look at a seemingly simple film, but a quality simple film, and figure out how exactly it maintains its quality whilst also being clearly entertaining and a solid Friday night material. Whilst art house and independent markets are definitely struggling, it's really blockbusters and studio films that are in the can right now, which is leading to that rough year for cinemas and the box office. So, if you get a chance, go see Hitman, if it's still around, preferably in a cinema, and chat about it to your friends. At the end of the day, Hollywood is an audience-driven market, so if we want more quality entertainment produced within the studio system, we should make our voices heard.
You gotta be smart, thorough, a few steps ahead of what you know they're gonna be looking for. You know, the dirty secret is most murders go unsolved, especially around here.
Guys, thank you so much for watching another video essay. I really enjoyed doing this one, and let me know if you would like more scene breakdowns like this. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I will see you around for the next one. Thank you all, love you all, peace.